So the next topic which we are going to start is the personality slash professional attributes. So we have to understand and adopt the organization culture. It means that the managing knowledge, we are talking about the knowledge workers. Okay, so the knowledge worker has to understand and adopt the organization culture, so that if some incentives are there or some particular practices are to be followed, so he can take the best out of it. And also he should align himself and his personal and professional growth with the corporate vision. Okay, it means that he should continue with the same company only if he is having the vision of following the same technology, isn't it, or in the same line. For example, technology may be different, it can be different. For example, if a company is working on Java, and it may change for VB, but overall it will still remain the software company. So if the knowledge workers are also having the same goal, it can continue with the same corporate vision. And it should have the attitude of collaboration and sharing. So it should be in position to work together, and it should have the innovative and creative mindset, so that he can do the job easily and in less time. Okay, and he should have the clear understanding of the business in which he is involved. For example, in the last class I have explained that if some exclamatory sign is used by the knower in a publishing house, so the smart knowledge worker or the worker with the similar background will easily understand that it is a factorial sign, but otherwise other people could not. So over the year of time, he should have the clear understanding of the business, and he should always be willing to learn and adopt new technologies. He should possess self-control and willing to accommodate uncertainty. If say, there is some change in plan, he should be well in position to adopt the same. Okay. Okay, we will continue further. So next topic is the core competency. So the knowledge worker should be in position to accommodate uncertainties, which means that if at all there is some change of thought process from the knowledge developer or knower, who may be a author, so he should be in position to work accordingly. Or sometimes it may happen that when the project is being undertaken, for example, as we have discussed in the last class, that if we are taking the class, taking the e-content, we are preparing the e-content at the beginning. Suppose we are preparing the e-notes for a author who is teaching the CBSE syllabus, and all of a sudden he moves to a new school who is affiliated to Rajasthan board, so there may be some changes in the contents. Okay, so the knowledge worker should be in position to work or change accordingly. So what are the core competencies which are associated with knowledge workers? First of all, he should be having the thinking mindset, innovative team should be there, and he should be in position to, or he should be intended to learn continuously, so that he can innovate new things. He is ready to take the risk, because until and unless he does some troubleshooting, sometimes it will lead to a failure, but sometimes it will lead to a success, which will result in his gain of knowledge. Okay, so a culture of responsibility towards knowledge. So he is involved in such a job which is very responsible, because one small error or typing mistake can lead to a bigger problems for the students who are going to learn from that e-contents. Okay, and decision action taking, he should be in position to take the decisive actions if something goes wrong. Okay, next is the business roles in learning organization. A learning organization is an organization of people with the total commitment to the improve their capacity to create and to produce. Okay, so if a learning organization the rate of learning is increased, it will help in getting the competitive advantage. Now we will learn about the management and leadership. So in knowledge management, we should be have the clear distinguish between the managers and the leaders. So we can thought of a traditional manager as a manager of a production, or he can be a production in charge of some assembly line. Okay, so he is a such a person who was a knowledge worker for long times, and over the years he have gained some experience and elevated to the knowledge manager position. Okay, so these managers who are who were once workers, knowledge workers, so they are more action oriented, and they spend most of the times in supervising, delegating and controlling and ensuring the compliance of the set procedure, because set procedures are there, it is documented. So he does not want to go for some innovation or creativity, but he will follow those documented principles strictly. Okay, so but the smart managers, if we compare these with the smart managers, they focus on the organization learning. Okay, so smart managers can may not be themselves be knowing that work, because they were not themselves the knowledge workers, but they might be having some good management degree and some experience of handling the people. Maybe he's from the HR background, so uh, he tends to achieve the goals, and the leader's role is more of a facilitator than a supervisor. Okay, so the smart manager, what he does, he facilitates. For example, if the knowledge workers who are working under them get stuck somewhere because of the any infrastructure or any problem, so it will facilitate, it will provide the easy possible solution. So he will act more like a teacher than the order giver. Okay, so based on this we can say that the smart managers can handle the this knowledge management system, new system, in a better way. And the smart managers provide the opportunities to brainstorm the ideas, so that the, because they are working focusing more on the ideas and creative ideas, so he can ask sometimes to the knowledge workers, okay, you can sit for 15 to 20 ways 20 minutes and think of a doing the job in a better possible manner. Okay, so that the net result, because if the same task is given to say 10 knowledge workers, and some of them are completing the task in a quick manner, and some are doing in a, some are consuming more time, so there must be some difference of opinions or difference of action being performed, way of action. Okay, so that is to be identified and followed. Okay, so what are the work management tasks? So these work management tasks include the retrieving, creating and sharing and using the knowledge in everyday activities, managing the knowledge workers, ensuring their readiness to work, so that they are ready enough, they are motivated enough, they are they are also responsible for controlling the tasks, they are responsible that the knowledge workers are collaborating themselves, helping each other in the concurrent activities, and sharing information and integrated learning. Again, same, it means that they collaborate with each other. And also the work management tasks include to recruit the knowledge seeking and the bright individuals. Okay, see, if the persons are there who is bright, who can capture the knowledge easily and implement, so the work management also includes to recruit those knowledge seekers. Okay, because it is good to have a motivated and knowledge seeker person in a group than to have a two or three persons who are just following the documented approach. Okay, so what are the factors to be considered by the managers? First is the time constraints, that if any uh, job is to be completed within the time frame that is to be maintained, and knowledge workers doing the work that the organization did not hire them to do. Okay, so managers should also look that they are doing the right job for which they are hired. Okay, for example, you can say that in multi-story buildings or in the high-rise societies, guards are there. Okay, but so the actual job of the guards are to guard, to secure the people. But we can see that sometimes the owners, flat owners, what we they tend to do, they ask them to fetch the milk, they ask them to fetch the vegetables, or look after the students playing, children playing in the garden area, or involve them in some physical labors also. So when a person is doing a job out of fear, or out of the fear of losing the job, then it is possible that he is not doing the job for which he is being hired. So it will reduce its productivity, and the actual job for which he is hired, that will be neglected. Okay, so also the managers should see that they are working smarter and harder, work schedule is followed, and productivity is monitored. So next is the work adjustment. So the smart managers should ensure that there is a right match between the vocational needs of their knowledge workers and requirements of their jobs. Okay, so what is the vocational needs? It means that the job in which they are involved, and requirement of their jobs, that they are involved in only that kind of job for which they are recruited, and they should assure the stability of the workforce and continuity of the job. It is also possible that there may be saturation in the industry, so that manager should look after that their workforce as well, that their job is continued and they are not terminated abruptly. Okay, so achieving and maintaining the correspondence within the work environment. So it can involve the manually talking to the knowledge workers or emailing. Okay, so this correspondence can start with the individual brings with the certain skills, that they are talking to them nicely and responding to the requirements of the job or the work environment. Okay, for example, their requirements for the job can be, okay, that after every 2 hours or 3 hours is some break of 15 minutes and 20 minutes is required for, it can be water break or it can be tea break, etc. Okay, and also they should be rewarded at times so that they are motivated enough. So what is the smart leadership requirements? So the it should be in position to assess the core competency of the organization in which he is involved. Okay, they should respond to the organization shortcomings. If the company is having some shortcomings, it should not hide them, it should expose them, so that if it is exposed, then that shortcomings can be met. Okay, otherwise sometimes what managers do, they tend to hide, because if they are telling the requirements, first of all, uh, the CEO or the director may understand that he is not able to work with the limited infrastructure, and secondly, they do not want to sometimes come into the limelight. Okay, and they tend to sometimes, this is the main reason for them to hide the things, but it should not have happen. And excellent knowledge of the external market, they should have the knowledge of the external market, what is going there. Okay, so if some, because only then they can suggest the new things, or some innovation or creativity is required, then they can go for it. Okay, they can suggest the directors, champions, etc., so that they can go for any changes. And online response of the external environment is also to be monitored, so that timely action can be taken, and so that they can be responded on timely basis. Okay,